Man, look, this why I don't be on Facebook no more. You know what I'm saying? I learned a lot off Facebook and service purpose, but life is about progression. You know, if you was doing wicked stuff and you was doing wrong or just evil, I'm not gonna knock you for going to the Sunday church. I'm just gonna tell you the Sunday church ain't where you want to stay. It's a good place to gain some knowledge or something, but you want to keep it moving. You don't want to stay there because they only gonna keep telling you the same thing over and over again. But I just got debating with this dude on Facebook about a lunar Sabbath. He telling us that, you know, the Sabbath is based on the moon. You know what I'm saying? He posted some scriptures, and you know it sounded good for a second, but then we start asking questions like, okay, well, when we Googled the Hebrew calendar changes from 29 to 30 days, 29 to 30 days. And we know that the Most High instructed us to observe the Sabbath as the seventh day. You know what I'm saying? So we asking this brother a simple question like, well, look, the days of the week don't change. There ain't no 6 or 8 day weeks, but there are 29 or 30 day months. So if the weeks are constant and the months are inconsistent, how can you base or determine the Sabbath that doesn't change based on something that changes? I mean, it's that simple. You know what I'm saying? Well, just show us where in the Bible are these short weeks? Because if the Sabbath in the first day of the month is determined, you know, excuse me, not the first day of the month, but the first day of the week is determined by the moon. You know what I'm saying? Then after 28 days, when the moon disappears from 2 to 3 days, when it reappears, the week gonna have to get cut in half and start over again. You know what I'm saying? That means like if it was Tuesday and the moon come in, then the week start over, and now it's Sunday again, the first day of the week. And this brother not wanting to answer none of those questions because he done posted so much scripture that he couldn't really properly discern, that I just didn't have the patience to deal with him no more, because if people not going to answer and address people's questions specifically, we can't come to a proper understanding mutually. It's not about neither of us being right or wrong. It's about both of us figuring out the truth. If you know we Israel, you Israel, I'm Israel, what is the truth? And people don't have humility. They too humble. They scared to be wrong one time. He can know 99% of the other Bible totally, but on this subject of the Shabbat, he wrong. Because the simple fact is, if you read in Genesis, it tell you that the sun, the moon, and the star was given as a symbol for signs and seasons and wonders and stuff like that. Okay, well, we know that the days are based on the sun. When the sun go up and come down, that's a day. We know the weeks are based on days. You know what I'm saying? When 7 days is over, the week is over. And we know the months are based on the moon. You know what I'm saying? When the week is over with after 28 days, the moon might come in a day later on the 29th, but sometimes it don't come in 2 days later on the 30th day in the Hebrew calendar. So the moon does not obey the day cycle. The moon obeys its own cycle. So we agree that months are based on the moon, but weeks are based on days. And the Sabbath is based on the 7th day of the week. So it's just like this. If we go on a deeper level, someone who has a high intellect, the moon is based on many days, 29 to 30 days. A Shabbat is based on a weekly cycle. Why would I use a higher number to determine the cycle of a lower number? Why would I use a higher number to determine the cycle of a lower number? That doesn't make sense. And I asked this brother, show me in the Bible where it says when the new moon comes in, the week starts over. Show me in the Bible where it says we to determine the Shabbat by the moon. And he couldn't do that. He couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? And he keep asking me, do we agree that the moon is based on the months and the month is based on... Yeah, I agree 4 times. He keep asking. He's stalling now because he told us that he observed a lunar Shabbat for 25 months. That's 2 years. This brother been doing the wrong thing for 2 years. There's people who've been in the Sunday church doing the wrong thing for 20 years. But you have to be humble enough to realize that you're prone to error. You're a human being. We all could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? And anybody who would not address someone's question specifically, that means they have a fallacy in their argument. There's something lacking in their argument. Or you will address that's what politicians do. They talk good. When you ask them a question they don't have an answer to, they spin you. Answer what I just said, or there's no point in talk. I can't be on Facebook no more because I've moved past that. If we're not going to be humble enough to both just go back and forth and specifically address each and every post, each and every status, then there's no point. You're going to have me off somewhere left field that's not really the subject at hand. And it's not really the subject at hand, and there's no progression, and I'm through with no progression. Or I'd rather stay stuck on stupid by myself. I'd rather be off on some folly by myself. I'm not gonna let you sit here and talk good, and we getting off of what the facts is. You know what I'm saying? And there's no. The Most High is the truth. If there ain't no truth in what you saying, the Most High not gonna never, if you ask him a question, he not gonna stutter. He not gonna stall. He gonna put it in your face because he know you not gonna have no rebuttal. You can't rebut the truth. That's why people get stuck. There is no rebuttal to the truth. It's some bullshit to the truth. You can say some bullshit to the truth, but ain't no rebuttal. It's over with after the truth gets it. We go back and forth until the truth is plain. And once it's plain, ain't no rebuttal. And we went back and forth, but when we got to asking him about the days of the week and why the moon changes the days that it come in, the month changed from 29 to 30 days in the Hebrew calendar. Why do it change? Because the moon is not based on days. It's not based on, it's based on itself. It's based on something higher. And like I said, logically, why would you be basing something that regulates higher numbers to figure out or determine the cycle of a smaller number? Why would I use the number 4 to determine when is the next half gonna come in? If I know it's 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, why would I use the number 4 to determine when my next half is coming? It's a bigger number. Why would I be using the cycle of months to determine when the weeks come in? It don't make sense. Just like why would I be using weeks to determine when the next day is? Why would I use a week to determine when the next day is? I'm not going to. It don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? It don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? The Most High told us how to figure out when is the Shabbat. On the 7th day of the week. The 7th day of the week. He don't say nothing about the month. And we supposed to observe the new moon. We are supposed to observe the new moon. That is a holy Hebrew festival, the new moons. But the new moon is not based on our weekly Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? Because it's something lesser. You're not basing nothing higher off of something lesser. You know what I'm saying? Why would I determine the day by the week? Why would I determine... And clearly we don't determine the months by the weeks. Because when the moon don't come in on the 28th day, it either come in on the 29th or 30th day. So, I mean, I'm just done. If you don't get it after that, man, catch up, mustard. For real.